These are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry. Scott Earhart here with Insurance Agency Marketing Services. So excited to have you all with us today. Want to thank you for your time. I know everybody has busy afternoons, lots of appointments, lots of sales to be made, but I think you're making a worthwhile investment with an hour or so out of your afternoon today. Today, we are excited to introduce Athene's new product lineup. To do that, we have Mr. Rob Johnson with us. Rob, can you hear me?
Absolutely. And can you hear me?
We can hear you, and thank you very much for your time. Rob is one of our internals over at Athene. He does an amazing job. He is also available to each and every one of you should you have questions about Athene products. A wealth of knowledge, and we're very, very thankful that he's able to give us this time. A couple of housekeeping items before we get started in on the Ascent and the MIGA as well as the Performance Elite. First off, our phone number is there on your screen. The number here to Insurance Agency Marketing Services is 800 255 5055. If you have any questions, if there is anything that we can be doing to earn your business in the life or annuity markets, please don't hesitate to give a call. We absolutely want to be earning your business here at IMES. Second of all, questions. If you have any questions, there is a questions box on your screen. Please feel free to type those in. We will do the best we can to answer them while we are live and in session. I'm going to say this right up front. We are going to have a very, very highly attended webinar. It's going to be very, very difficult for us to get to all the questions, but we will try to answer as many as we can. And if not, if we don't get your question answered or if we miss it, please answer the phone when we call to follow up. We will get it answered then. I will be calling later today and tomorrow to follow up. I'm sure Rob and Sam from Athene will be calling as well, just to touch base and make sure that you have a great understanding of these products. So if we miss you, it wasn't intentional. We definitely want to get those questions answered for you. And final housekeeping item before some promotional slides about polling questions. I'm going to launch 2 or 3 different polls throughout the presentation. If you would please take the time to just click yes or no on those. We do appreciate everyone's participation in the polling questions. First of all, first thing I want to talk about is the Caddies and Casinos trip. I just got my latest standings for qualification, and we had about 6 new producers qualify, and I've got about 5 more that will qualify for sure by the end of next week. So super excited about that. This is a incentive trip that's offered only to insurance agency marketing services producers for Athene Premium. Only place you can get this kind of trip is with IMES, and the only way you can get on this trip through IMES is with Athene Premium. It's a fantastic, fantastic combo trip or incentive trip that both companies we have been a part of for the last 3 years. We've been to some amazing places so far. We've been to Tahoe. We've been to Trump National Doral. We're going to be in Vegas early in 2017. Qualification will run through the end of December, so a lot of time left to qualify. In Vegas, you're going to play 2 or 3 amazing golf courses. We're going to stay at the Four Seasons Mandalay Bay, have some amazing dinners. It's just going to be a fantastic, fantastic time. Only 1.25 million with Athene gets you on this trip. If you get to 1.75, that's going to get you and a guest on this trip. It's a fantastic time. My only wish on these trips is that someday I could beat Rob Johnson in golf, and it could happen out there in Vegas. I don't know. But that being said, it's going to be so easy to qualify once you guys see these products, once you see the new Ascent series, once you learn how competitive the MIGA is, and we already know the Performance Elite was the leading accumulation product in the industry. With the new indices, it's fantastic. So if you want to know where you are for standings, if you want to know what we can do, want to have a conversation about what we can do to get you over that 1.25 threshold, don't hesitate to give a call. We want you there. It's going to be a great trip. I'm so excited about that. Next up, I'm going to talk about another partnership with Athene, our Life and Annuity Academy. And our next Life and Annuity Academy is going to be in July, and we are going to be at Athene's home office. So really excited about that. As I talk about the Life and Annuity Academy, I'm going to launch our first poll of the day. And what I'm going to ask you in this poll is if you would be interested in the Life and Annuity Academy. This doesn't mean you're committing to going, just if you have interest in it, that'll get you on our interested parties list, and you'll be the first notified when we do get applications available. What we do with our life and annuity training, so they're about a 2.5-day training. We'll fly you in on a Wednesday, fly you home on a Friday. First night, we get together at the hotel, have some dinner, a few speakers, off to bed, get up early the next morning, have breakfast, over to Athene's home office for a full day, dinner, drinks afterwards, back to bed, up early again Friday, shuttle over to Athene, half day, and then we get you back on a plane and hopefully home in time for dinner. So that's kind of the agenda. Now, what I want to talk about is what we actually do in these presentations. We will bring in home office staff, so myself, Mark Raymakers, Matt Neal, the heads of the departments will be there to go through what we do and what our staffs do to ensure that that IMES is fulfilling our commitments to you and partnering with you to grow your business. Everything from case design to marketing ideas, sales positioning, illustration systems, all that we have available for you. Also, our executive team and ownership team will be there in Charles Hiring and Steve Murray. You will get actual access to the decision makers at IMES. You'll meet them, you'll dine with them, you'll have cocktails with them. They are great guys, and they want to know the people that help us grow our business. They want to get to know you. So it's a great chance to kind of learn a little bit about who we are and what we do. We will also, of course, include individuals and executives, team members from Athene, and they do a great job. One thing that when we started doing these, I don't know, about 10 years ago, the one thing that we wanted to do was be different than our competitors. We definitely didn't want to do dog and pony product in a box type stuff. So when we found partners for life and annuity academies, one of them being Athene, we said we want to partner with you. We want to bring in 40, 50 agents at a time. We want to give you a showcase, but we want you to show us how to use the product, not just what the product is, how to position it, how to market it. And they do a great job with that. Rob will present, Sam, Mac, Megan Easton, great training team and marketing team there at Athene. They do a fantastic job for us. Their facility is amazing. We're just so excited to have them as a partner for Life and Annuity Academy. Now, the biggest thing about a Life and Annuity Academy that stands out is we're going to bring in at least 4 of our sales coaches to the academy. And what I want to tell you about our sales coaches and why I think it's a big deal is because our sales coaches, in order to coach at IMES, you have to be a multiple top producer qualifier. These guys are not only talking the talk, but they walk the walk every day. These are people that are going to show you what they do in their business to make themselves successful, and hopefully show you some ways you can apply that to your business at home. So it's a fantastic opportunity. Of course, we're going to leave plenty of time for networking so you can get to know the other attendees and things that they're doing in their specific areas that may help you. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close down the poll. So if you haven't taken the time to just click yes or no, if you would please do so. Certainly appreciate that. And the last thing I want to mention before I close that poll is it is all expenses paid. So we here at IMES and Athene are going to pick up the entire bill for you: flight, hotel, meals, cocktails, Everything is paid for. So again, if it's at all of interest to you, please click yes. And if it's not, go ahead and click no. We do appreciate everyone's participation in that polling. And that poll is now closed. I know I was long-winded on that one, everyone. I do appreciate you bearing with me there. I love the Life and Annuity Academy. For those of you who are new to insurance agency marketing services, or if this is your first introduction to who we are here at IMES, you are eligible for the new producer bonus. New producer bonus is based on your production within the first 180 days of you being contracted through IMES. We've got 3 great levels that you can qualify at. As you can see, at each level, there's cash rewards, personal perks, business building tools that you can choose from. This isn't all of it. These are just some highlights. So we certainly want you to take advantage of it. If you want to know where you stand for new producer bonus, or if you want to talk about what we could do to help you step up to the next level and get whatever incentive it is that you want to qualify for, please give me a call. Let's have that conversation. Love to make sure that we're helping you earn what you deserve to earn. One of the things that makes IMES so special is we have an in-house creative team. It is headed up by Matt Neal. You probably saw his name on an email, or you may see it on a lot of marketing that we do. They do a great job. Everything that the creative team can offer, everything from basic marketing, building you a logo, some business cards, envelopes, letterheads, things like that, all the way up to full out television advertising. We can do it for you. We can help you coordinate it. We can help you distribute it. They have got so much knowledge and so much talent on that team. It's unreal. And here's what I can tell you. You see on the screen there, $9.99 or modest production. What I can tell you about this is if you produce with us, you're going to get a discount. If you are licensed with us, you're going to get access. And give Matt a call. Give his team a call. Just have a conversation about what it is you're looking to do, what it is you're looking to have. Have Matt tell you, we see you do this much production. This is what it would cost. And then go out and compare that to a graphic design firm or an ad firm or a PR firm that you have there locally. We don't make money on the creative services. We're just trying to break even. It's a better way for us to partner with you in growing your business. Here at IMES, we're a marketing company. We're an FMO. We make money when you make money, and we want to continue to grow our business in that manner. We don't want to profit off of you to help you partner with your business. So great way for you to save money, great way for you to build your brand. Give Matt Neal a call. He'd certainly love to have a conversation with you. Okay, I know that what we're here to talk about are annuities. And I work solely with annuities. That is that is my entire existence in this industry is annuities. But one thing that I do want to talk about real quick before we get into the presentation is annuity alternative. The largest or the fastest growing segment of our business is single premium life. Mark Raymakers and our life team here do a great job. And as I talk about this briefly, I'm going to launch a second poll. And the reason why that is the largest or the fastest growing part of our business is everybody that's ever sold an annuity has that client with the old annuity sitting on the books. They're not taking income off of it. They're not ever going to. They maybe even have it earmarked as a death benefit. That is a dead asset to you, the producer. And to be honest with you, it's a dead asset for the client and a liability for the beneficiary. Single premium life is a great way for you to generate another sale off of it and reposition that asset in a much cleaner way for the beneficiary, and also give some added benefit through enhancements for acceleration of the death benefit for long-term care, tax-free withdrawals if they needed to take a loan out of the policy for the client. We here at IMES, I don't throw this word around lightly, but Mark and his team, they are single premium life experts. I have not encountered anybody in this industry that knows more about single premium life, about positioning of single premium life, marketing, selling of single premium life than Mark and his team. We are the experts in the industry here. We have helped numerous producers go back through their books of business to find those type of assets, to generate new commissions and new sales, and ultimately reposition those assets for the clients and beneficiaries. If you'd like to know more, if you'd like to have us do that for you, please click yes. If you don't want us to have us give you a call on this, just click no. Nobody here will be offended. But we wanted to make sure you're aware that annuity alternatives are out there, and it's a great way for you to generate another sale off an asset or off of a piece of business that you thought might be dead to you. That being said, I'm going to close down the poll, so if you haven't taken the time to just click yes or no, please do so. We certainly appreciate that. Thank you, everyone. That poll is now closed. I know I started talking about caddies and casinos, and I can't tell you about how excited I am about caddies and casinos, but what I'm more excited about right now is our top producers escape up to Victoria, British Columbia. And the reason I'm more excited about this one is because it's almost here. Qualification ends June 30th. We are going to leave August 3rd and return on the 7th. This is our big trip. We will have a lot of producers there, a lot of spouses there. The Fairmont Empress right there on the bay is one of the most beautiful hotels in the world. And anybody who's ever been to Victoria will tell you it's one of the most scenic and beautiful places in the entire world. 2 million trip credits gets you there. There's kind of a breakdown on how trip credits break down, or not break down, but how they qualify you. Every piece of premium you write through IMES will qualify you for this. Specifically, let's talk about Athene premium right now. I want to talk about how big of a deal it is to write Athene premium right now. So if you write a piece of Athene premium through IMES today, you not only will that piece of premium qualify you for the top producers escape, it will also qualify you for caddies and casinos. Third, it will qualify you for Athene's Leaders of Olympus trip, which they're going to Prague. So that trip's going to be awesome. And then on top of that, you're going to get your marketing reimbursement from IMES. You're also going to get qualification towards care with Athene. So I can't even tell you how much incentive there is to write Athene premium right now. Plus, the products just got so good. With that being said, that brings me to the end of my intro slides. I am going to hand this over to Rob. Rob, I'm hoping that you should have control of the screen now.
Absolutely. Can you see my screen?
I can see. You've got the 3, 2, 1 grow slide up, right?
Absolutely.
We can see you, we can hear you, and it is all yours, my friend.
Well, Scott, first of all, allow me to tell you guys thank you for having us on this webinar with you all. I just want to tell everyone listening, it's a partnership between Athene and IMES. We love working with these guys. For those of you who don't know Matt Campbell is our external vice president of sales, and obviously he is out traveling right now, but he sends his best. And he's out traveling because of what I'm getting ready to talk to you guys about today. And we love working with Scott and Steve and those guys and the marketers over at IMES, so I would definitely urge you that when we get done with this presentation to give those guys a call, or to give your internal team here at Athene, myself or Sam Woods, a call as well. Today I'm going to talk about the 3 new products, 2 new indices that we have come out with, and I'm going to hit them on a high level, so I won't go too in details on a lot of things given, and I recognize that there will be more questions or things that will come up, but we will try to get to those at the end, like Scott said, or we will handle those on kind of a one-off situation where you can call IMES or you can call us. When we talk about the indices, I'm going to really kind of approach it at a very high level, and I know that there's going to be more questions, but we'll get to those. We'll actually, myself, I'm sure Scott's going to call. I'll be calling. Sam will be calling. IMES will be calling. So we can definitely get to those as well. Lastly, before I jump right into it, I talked to Matt Campbell earlier today, and after we're done with this, anyone who gets us the first app, and I'm just going to help us track this, anyone who gets us the first app on this product that I'm going to be mentioning here in just a few of $200,000 or more, the first agent to get us an app on this, we're going to get you a free Athene golf polo shirt. I'm not talking about one of the, well, just a regular polo. I'm talking about one of the really nice Athene golf polo shirts, and we're going to get that out to you. 321 Grow. Athene has been positioned a lot of times to really be the industry leading in accumulation, and that's been our story for some time. We really haven't played in the income space, and Scott and the guys over at IMES and many of you all have contacted us and said, hey, can you guys come out with something where we can provide some better income? Can you guys come out with something where we can provide some protection as well? So we have the accumulation. We haven't played a lot in the space of income or protection, but we're here now, and we're here to stay. The two new indices that we have, one is called BNP. BNP is actually the third largest investment bank in the world. For anyone who watches tennis or watches the French Open, you'll see that BNP is their leading sponsor over there in France. And then also we have Morningstar. Anyone who has spent any time in the register space of this business, you know that that is like a household name when it comes to this industry, Morningstar. And we're going to get into those in just a few. Now, the new product, we have the Athene Ascent Pro. Like I said before, we were leading in the accumulation space, but now we're going to be leading in the income space. We also have the Athene Performance Elite for the two indices that we've added. And then we've even added a MIGA for those agents who are looking for just pure protection, looking for something where you have a client that's looking for just straight fixed products. Now, our two new indices. We have the BNP that I was just talking about. The short name for it is the BNP MAD 5 Index. And just to tell you just a tad bit about it, I'm going to talk to you just about the high level of it. What the BNP does is it takes a bunch of different asset classes, about 8 different asset classes over 3 geographical economies, and it puts them into a filtration system, proprietary filtration system for them, and then they track the top 5 ones from there. Now, Athene has 3 reasons on why we are looking to add new indices. There are 3 reasons. Number one is it highly respected? So BNP definitely has that type of name on a geographical scale. And then also, does it complement what we have? We've had in the past a lot of S&P strategies. We've had, the daily risk control, and usually we were some form of the S&P, and so this offers us a little bit more of a global attempt. And then also, does it perform? So we're looking at the back casting of these, making sure that we're going to offer our clients something that will perform. And then we have the Morningstar, and the Morningstar, from a high level, what it does is it has a proprietary system where it's tracking the futures of about 75 different stocks, and then it filters those down to figure out which ones are going to be the top performing ones, and it has a volatility control of about 5% in there, and it's looking to track the best performing ones out of that 75 that their proprietary system is looking at. And so that's just kind of a high level approach of those. Like I said, I know that there are going to be more questions on those. If you have any of those, please call IMES or call myself or Sam Wiz here at Athene. Now, we're ready to grow, and I hope you're ready to grow with Athene as well. With our new Ascent Pro, and we have the Income Rider, we are going to be number 1 in the income space. Our guaranteed and stacked roll-up options. But not only that, we've offered more than just a level income and an inflation income. We're introducing a new earnings indexed income. And then, of course, we also are going to talk about the enhanced features. with our guaranteed income, as you can see here on this screen, you don't see the 5, the Ascent Pro 5, because that product does not offer an income rider, but it is a very competitive short-term accumulation play with some very high caps. Now, for the Ascent 7, which is one of the new products that we're introducing, we haven't had a 7-year chassis before. Now we do. And as you can see, option 1 is our guaranteed growth, where we're going to provide 10% simple for the first 10 years, 5% simple for the next 10. Also, for our option 2, as you can see, for the 7-year, there's going to be a 5% simple for 1 through 20 with a 200% participation rate. And then for our 10 years, we have a 6% simple interest for the first 20 years and a 200% participation rate. Allow me to just pause right there real quick, because that 200% is 200% of the dollar value. It's not 200% of the percentage. So what that means is if you had 100,000, you put it into this contract, and let's say you got 4%. So 4% on 100,000 is $4,000. We're going to times that by 2, so it's going to be $8,000 on top of that 6% simple interest, on top of the bonus that we give you as well. Here is a slide where it's talking about our guaranteed income growth, just to kind of show you the power of it. You put $100,000 in, and I always say this when I'm dealing with and I'm talking to agents over the phone. I always say, take a sheet of paper, draw it down the center of the page, and on the left-hand side, you're going to have that AV, the accumulated value, and on the right-hand side, you're going to have your income. On the right-hand side of the paper is where the clients are going to see the most value in this product. On that right-hand side, you have 100,000. We're going to instantly give them a 15% bonus. Instantly, right off the back. So now they're 100,000 as 115. At 10% simple interest, they will continue to grow. And in this example, we show them coming at age 70. At age 70, the income value is going to be at $215,000, and we're going to pay them $11,825. Even at our 5-year deferral, it's going to be at $165,000, and we're going to pay them $8,250. If there's one thing I want you guys to take away from here, I want you guys to know that Athene is here for the income space. On this slide, I want to just let you know we win 100% of the time in issue ages or issue years between 1 and 15 years. Our guaranteed income is going to win 100% of the time with our Ascent 10 bonus 2.0 with our 15% income-based bonus. Now, obviously our legal team and our compliance team, they won't allow us to put competitors' names on our marketing materials. But many of you all know that there have been competitors in this space who have pretty dominated the income space for some time. And we're looking to beat all of them. As you can see, competitor A here has a 14% chassis. We have a 10-year, and we're beating their 14-year product by almost $600, and a 5-year, almost 2 to 3, and a 10-year. Here's a slide just to show you the power of the stacked growth. Remember, I was telling you guys that it's 200% of the dollar amount, not the percentage amount. This slide, of course, again, you see that 15% bonus. And even, let's just say worse, I mean the absolute bottom, you get 0 for all 10 years. You're going to come in at $186,160 with a guaranteed income of $10,239. I just want to show you guys something really quick. That's the guarantee. Our worst absolute Armageddon situation, you're still going to get $10,239. And here, as you can see, competitor C, We still beat them on our very Armageddon situation. We can still beat them on our 6% roll up and the guarantee on our stacked side. We still beat competitor C. Now, as you can see, using our BNP strategy, which is a 2-year point-to-point cap, it is at a 90% participation rate, and we'll get into that a little bit later. As you can see, the worst case scenario, looking at a 10-year look back on this, the worst case scenario that we're going to do is we're going to be at $281,294, and we're going to pay your client $15,000 in income. That's the worst. And I got to say this, Scott, and if you talk to Mac before I do, tell him I'm sorry, but I got to say this. Anybody who knows Mac knows that Mac likes to look at the worst case scenarios when we're dealing with these types of situations. He likes to make sure that at the worst case scenarios, we can still win. And I happen to agree with him on that. We are still winning in the worst case scenario with our stacked growth option. Here's just an opportunity just to look at some of the issue ages with our stacked roll-up, the worst case, the average, and then the best. You can see for a 50-year-old going to age 60, the best case is 14,000. Even if we look at a 65 and a 70-year-old, the best case is 19,000. The worst case is 16,000, and then just the guaranteed part is still at $11,000 in just that 10 years. Remember, that's 200% participation of the dollar amount, not the percentage amount. Now, I told you guys that's what I would call our accumulation phase of this product for the income side. So the product is growing. They haven't turned on income yet. The client is watching their income grow every single year. So there is a hard stop between what we were just talking about and what I'm getting ready to get into. Remember, the 200% stops when they turn on income. The guaranteed roll-up stops when they turn on income. Let's talk about when they do turn on income, how exciting it gets. We know level and inflation, for those of you who've been in the business a while, those are pretty standard. You have your level and you have your inflation, and ours tracks the CPI, as you could see there. But what I'm most excited about is our earnings indexed income. Our earnings indexed income is really the option that you can select when you turn on income. Now, option 1 and option 2 for the guaranteed or the stack growth, you'll have to select that at the time of issue, but you won't have to select which type of income you want to receive, level, inflation, or earnings, until the client is actually ready to turn on income. If they decided to turn on the earnings index income, and I'm going to explain that just a little bit, what will happen, let's just use for an example that they are receiving $10,000. They go into the BNP strategy, which is a 2-year. Let's just say they got 5% over that 2 years. They'll then take that percentage amount, stack it on top of the $10,000. So 5% of $10,000 is $500. So in the next 2 years, their income is $10,500. Every single year that the client gains something on their accumulated side, they're going to take that percentage and stack it on top of their income. Now, if you have an older client, I would probably say more so they're going to look better on the guaranteed side with the level income. Know probably going to fit more into those. I always call those type of clients, they remind me of my mom. My mom was a level type of person. She wanted to know what her paycheck was going to be. She doesn't have time to look into the index. She just wants to know what she's going to get and how much she's going to get it and when she's going to get it. And then I always look at the ones who's willing to take a little bit more risk. Obviously, if the index doesn't return anything, you get no bump in your income. But I always look at those other ones kind of like my aunt. My aunt is the type where she's risky. She wants to go see what she can get, how far she can go. And that is an opportunity for your clients. Your clients with the earnings index can step up every single year that they earn any type of interest credits. They can step up their income. Now, the exciting part is once the accumulated value reaches zero, they will level out for that 1 year, and every year until they pass away, they're going to step up 1%. So the accumulated value goes to zero, they still are getting a step up every single year of 1%. That is pretty exciting. Here's just an example of how our index income compares. As you can see, guaranteed level, about 10,000, and then you could see right here, about 9,000 for the guaranteed part. For our non-guaranteed, it's about the same. And then as we continue to grow, that index is going to outpace the guaranteed portion of that. As long as you're getting some type of growth on your on your accumulation side, you're going to see that growth. And in this example, we're going to assume an annual interest credit of about 5.3%. We did add some new features to this. We have a minimum interest credit, so a one-time credit of 1% at the end of whatever the accumulated value is at that time. We've even added a bailout feature. So whatever happens to this annuity, if we drop the cap below that bailout feature, below whatever the cap is for the bailout, your client can get out of this contract with their gains. It doesn't matter if they're in the index where the bailout feature is. If we drop the cap below, they have the opportunity to get out of the contract. In the past, we've had 5% penalty-free withdrawals. We've upped that now to 10% every single year. Most of you all know about the confinement doublers. These have kind of taken off in the marketplace. There's either a doubler or a tripler for a confinement. Your client has to be confined for 180 days out of the last 250 days, and it'll last for 60 months or 5 years, or until the contract value goes to zero. Once the contract value goes to zero, we do revert the income back to its normal state. So the income will double while they are confined. If the time period runs out, it'll then go back to its normal state of income. We are in about 42, 43 different states at this time. I believe there's only about 8 or 9 states where we're not approved. We are working diligently. Our legal and compliance teams are working very, very diligently to get this product up and going in those states where we are not approved yet. But in most states we are. So if you see that one of the states in the white is your state, don't worry, don't panic. We will be up and going in those states soon. And we're hopeful that we can go ahead on and get those up here in just a few weeks. I want to point out something here on this. First, I want to point out the bailout cap rate. If you look at the Ascent Pro 7 for me and the Ascent Pro 10, the bailout cap on a 7 is 3. The bailout cap on a 10 is 1%. Let's say you're in the BNP strategy, but we drop the annual point-to-point strategy below one of these caps, then your client can get out of the product. I do want to just point out that the BNP 2-year uncapped strategy has no cap and also no spread, but 130% participation on the 7-year 100% on the Ascent Pro 10, and 90% on the Ascent 10 Bonus 2.0. That is huge. And then the Morningstar, as you can see, those as well. Now, with our income, I had mentioned to you that we do have an income-based bonus. So the income bonus does not apply to the accumulated value. It's not on, if you guys have been following me, the left-hand side of the paper compared to the right-hand side, which is the income side. This bonus is only on the income side of this product. So on the Ascent Pro 10, you have a 10% bonus. And on the Ascent 10 Bonus 2.0, you have a 15% bonus. And real quick, I just want to point out that the income rider is 1% across the board. No matter what option or what product that you do, the rider charge will remain the same. Here are the issue ages. As you can see, our Pro 5, our Ascent Pro 5 goes to age 85. The 7 goes to age 83, and then the 10s goes to age 80. A lot of you all are used to Athene going to only age 78 or 73. On this product, it is different. We will be sending out some product specs and some quick reference guides. So all of this information will be on those product guides. Real quick, the minimum premium amount is $5,000. The max is $1 million, but that's only without home office approval. We will be able to, if you have over $1 million, we will be able. All you have to do is get that over to myself or Sam Wiss, or get it over to your marketer over at IMES, and we'll get it to the right people to get it approved. Real quick, I only have a couple of slides on the Performance Elite. Performance Elite has been our accumulation leading product. We have led the market with the accumulation. I want to point out with these two new indices that we've added them to the Performance Elite. For the BNP strategy on the 10-year, we have 130% participation, and on the 15-year, we have 160% participation. That is huge. Our annual point-to-point cap for the 10-year is 5.25. On the 15, it's 6%. And even our Morningstar is at 100%. So that's no spread, no cap, 100% of the funds. And even on the 15, 110. With this slide, what I would just want to point out real quick is just look at the worst for the BNP strategy. The worst case, and we're looking at this over a 10-year period. On a 10-year period inside of this product, the worst we have seen is 6.5%. That's the worst we've seen. And then the 15, the worst has been 7.94%. That is huge. We are looking to, of course, lead in the income and continue to lead in the accumulation market with this product, with our Performance Elite as well. And then lastly, the protection product, our product for the fixed, just straight fixed interest. We have introduced a new MYGA. The chassis are a 3-year, a 5-year, and a 7-year. This product is flexible premium, so you can add additional premiums to this after contract issue. And then a really cool feature here is the walkaway. I know a lot of you all are used to where if you put money into a MYGA, at the end of the surrender period, there's this imaginary 30-day period where the client would have to get their money out. In most cases, they might even forget that that 30-day period exists. But they have 30 days or they roll them into a new surrender charge. In this case, we have gotten away with that, and this product is a straight walkaway. So at the end of the 3, 5, or 7 years, your client is done. They can stay in it and just continue their growth, but there are no more surrender charges. The surrender charges are done after that period. Now, obviously, you can write a new product based upon whatever the rates are at that time to see if they can get into something better. But this is a walk-away product. So really quick, talk about the rates. We have a 3-year at 2%, a 5-year at 2.9%, and a 7-year at 3%. And then for those of you all who might be in one of the states where they don't like the MVA, we do have a non-MVA version, and those rates available for you as well. The issue ages for the MIGA, for the 3, goes all the way to 85. For the 5-year and the 7-year, goes all the way to 83. And also, we have a 10% penalty-free withdrawal on this product. And for additional premiums, each deposit has to be $1,000 up to a max of $100,000 without home office approval. So I want you guys to, if you don't take anything else away from this, I want you guys to know that Athene, prior to Monday, we were known for the performance elite and the accumulation story. And we heard the market, we heard what agents and marketers and IMOs were saying, and we responded. And so since Monday, April 11th, we have introduced the #1 income story in the marketplace. So at this time, I'll hand it back over to you, Scott, and see if there are any questions.
Fantastic, Rob. I appreciate you going through all that. Guys, I know that is a lot of information in a fairly short amount of time. So please, when we do call to follow up, let us know what your questions are. And here's what I can tell you about the Ascent, about the stacked growth rider, about the guaranteed rider. Call us, have us illustrate it for you. That is a powerful illustration. I actually am going to, one of my closest agents to me, my father, is going to write about an $800,000 case in the Ascent product, hopefully tomorrow morning, simply because it is that strong of an income. It beat out what was the #1 income for this case. So very, 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 very strong option there. That being said, before we get into questions, I'm going to launch our final poll of the day. And what I'm going to ask you is if you'd like contracting information from Athene, if you'd like to get contracted to sell these amazing products, just click yes. We'll get that emailed out to you today or tomorrow. That being said, let's get into some questions. First off, before I pose any questions to Rob, I'm going to tell you right now, there are several Department of Labor questions in here. I will tackle those on a one-on-one basis with you, but I don't think it would be appropriate to get into speculation about the Department of Labor ruling in a wide open format. What I will say on the Department of Labor ruling before we move on is if you do not like that ruling, call your congressman, call your senator, call your representatives, let them know you're not happy. Be vocal about it. Maybe there's something that can be done. Quick question here that came in asking if Athene had these products approved in Pennsylvania. Rob, I'll take part of this. The MIGA is approved in Pennsylvania right now. The Ascent does not have approval. Rob, do you know, have you guys filed in Pennsylvania?
We have. In those 9, I believe it's 9 states. In those 9 states, we're hopeful to get those up and going. Probably, we're hopeful for sometime either May, June. That's what we're hopeful for. Obviously, we've already filed these in there. I know the Performance Elite, we do have the Select version available in Pennsylvania for the Performance Elite, the MIGA, but right now the Ascent is not there yet. But we're hopeful to have it up and going here in a few.
Fantastic. Pennsylvania's a little slower. DOI, they really like to dig into products before they approve things. But this product, is really compliant across the board. So I believe they will get a version in quicker than we think. Rob had a question come in, and I think this is specific to the income riders. What all must the client choose when they issue the policy or when they apply, as far as the income rider goes?
Absolutely. So when they apply for the product, they'll have to choose either option one at time of issue or option two at time of issue. They will not have to choose which type of income they want to take. That's level, inflation, or earnings index. That is chosen at the time the client wants to turn on income. But option one, which is the guaranteed, the 10% and the 5%, or option two, which is the stacked growth option.
Absolutely.
At time of issue. That's what's due at time of issue.
Absolutely. And that question brings me to something I was just thinking about. I know I referenced the case that my father's going to write here tomorrow. We were doing it on a joint income. If you've got joint income scenarios, look to the Ascent. Their payout percentages are strong for joint income. So just another place to position that product. Very, very strong on the payout percentages there. Had a question come in about guaranteed cash values. Athene will show the guaranteed as well as assumed cash values in the illustrations. Again, I can't reiterate this enough. Call us with a scenario. Go on to imzinc.com, click the request a quote button. Let us know. Let us illustrate it for you. Let us show you the strength of this rider. Just incredibly, incredibly strong. And we can show guaranteed as well as assumed.
Correct.
Had a question come in here as far as, I believe this is in reference to accumulated value. For the accumulated value, it is based on earnings minus the rider fee. Correct, Rob?
That is correct.
Absolutely. And Rob, I know you went into it a little bit, but can we dive in real deep? Will you talk about what an advantage it is for the CPIU that compared to some of the other CPIs out there? The CPIU, or Urban Index, in my opinion, is the only way you should index or link to inflation, and that's because it's so vast. Can you comment on that, Rob?
I'm going to see if Jim, I brought one of the managements involved here. I want to see if Jim maybe can jump in on this one here.
Yeah, hey Rob. Yeah, I would certainly agree. The CPIU, is taking into account it's a more it's far more, I don't know, in my opinion, more accurate gauge of inflation. It has, I don't have everything in front of me, but I know it takes into account food and beverage, housing, apparel, transportation, medical care, etc. Really the cost of the actual cost of living. So for the urban index, so I would say that using the CPIU is certainly a more reflective figure for inflation than some of the other CPIs that can be used out in the marketplace.
Correct.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love the fact that that Athene chooses to use a CPIU. It is a true cost of living increase. So if you were going to look at a rider that could tie to a CPI, I know there are some riders out there that have CPIs that are tied to things like commodities. And when I say commodities, I mean like the price of corn, the price of cattle, of beef, that really have an effect on our daily lives, but aren't truly reflective of the cost of living. The CPIU is, so it's a great, great way to make sure your client's dollar is always worth a dollar. Question came in about the doubler. The doubler is for confinement only.
It is.
Athene's definition, and Rob, correct me if I'm wrong here, is 24-hour round-the-clock care. What when we say that, what I've always known it to mean is a full-out nursing facility, a swing bed facility. Uh, the question specifically involved cognitive impairment. If they are in a cognitive care center or a cognitive care center, that would definitely apply
Yes.
as long as it's 24-hour round-the-clock care. Correct, Rob?
Yep. Yep. Just to kind of round it up a little bit, you have to be in a qualified care facility. You have to be confined in that facility.
Sure. Got a question that came in on the Ascent Bonus 2.0. What is the death benefit for the? What would the beneficiaries receive if the client died early?
So if the client died early, they at the time of death they would receive the greatest of the accumulated value or the minimum or the minimum contract value. So let's say they haven't gained anything over their period of time, then they would get the minimum guarantee value. Let's say that they've gained 5% 1 year, 5% the next year, so 10% overall. They'll get whatever is in that value at the time of death, minus if there are any withdrawals. But whatever's in there at the time of death is what they'll get.
Fantastic. What is the minimum premium on the MIGA, Rob?
Minimum premium on the MIGA, I believe it's 5,000. Let me just double check. Yep, it is 5,000. The minimum premium is 5,000 on the MIGA, and the maximum is $1 million without home office approval.
Gotcha. And I'm scrolling through the questions here. I'm shocked. So many questions about the DOL. So bear with me as I sort through, guys. I apologize for the delay.
One thing I do want to point out real quick, Scotty, is a lot of times agents, what we see with the MIGA products, sometimes we see an agent, they'll put, let's say the client has 100,000, they'll take 70,000, put it into the Ascent because they get that 15% bonus on the income.
Sure.
On top of whatever they decide, if it's the guarantee or the non-guarantee side. So they get that. So they're instantly already 15 to almost 20% higher in that first year already. So they'll put 70,000 into there and then 30,000 into the MIGA for maybe 3 or 5 years. Just let it continue to grow.
Absolutely.
If they're looking, if they're wanting to make sure that their client has, and also with the MIGA having 10% free withdrawals, I would encourage, if the client wants to take some money out, and this goes back to the positioning type of sale. If the client wants to take money out and they want to take money out, but you also know that they want income, let's not take money from the income value. Let's put some of the money into a MIGA and then take the 10% from there. That way their income can be as high as it can be.
Nice. Absolutely. I think that's a great positioning of it. I had a very, very relevant question come in, Rob, and I love this question because that means this gentleman wants to write some business. He just ordered some Performance Elite apps from us. Do we need to send him new applications?
So if he ordered them prior to Monday morning, he would need new applications because the BNP and the Morningstar would be included in those disclosures.
Absolutely. We will get those new apps out. I've got a question come in. Is there a cap on the CPIU? 10% per year. Is that still correct, Rob?
That is correct. Yep.
Bear with me.
Yeah.
The confinement rider, is it improved in Florida? The doubler.
The doubler in Florida, let me just double check real quick. Looks like that it is approved in Florida. Looks like it is not approved in Connecticut, D.C., Illinois, and Mass at this time.
Absolutely. Thank you for that clarification. Looks like we've got somebody on here who has written the 222, a competing product, and she would like to know if you can you start income before the end of the surrender period. So how early could you trigger the income, Rob?
You can trigger income within the first 30 days. You have to be age 50, but you could start it within the first 30 days of the contract. So let's say a 40-year-old ended up getting this product, they'll have to wait till they're 50 to turn it on. But let's say usually, we see agents, probably the average age is anywhere between 55 and 65. They'll be able to turn it on right away.
Fantastic. Last question, and probably
real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Just sorry to interrupt. Just real quick. If they did turn it on right away, that's probably a good option to go with the earnings indexed income.
Sure.
Because then they can step up as they continue to receive income every year. They can step it up with their indexing growth. So just wanted to add that in there as well.
Absolutely. I have one last question, Rob, and I'm so happy I have this question because it's a great question to end on. So before I ask that, I still do have the poll open. If you haven't taken the time to just click yes or no, if you'd like to see licensing from Athene, please do so. We certainly want everybody's participation in that if we can. And the final question, is there a new training requirement to sell these products?
The answer, Scott, are you ready?
I'm ready.
The answer is yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely, it is yes.
Yes, the answer is yes. If we have an agent who is already appointed with us, if they haven't taken the full product training portfolio yet, that will be required. If they've already taken the full product training, then they can go in and take just the products that they need. But anybody any new agent to Athene, so if anybody is clicking yes that they want contracting paperwork and they haven't been contracting with us, they will have to take the full product-specific training.
Absolutely. Just let me, before we sign off and say our goodbyes, I want to make this as clear as I possibly can. If you are appointed with Athene and writing business, if you've already done the full portfolio training, there are modules out there for product specific, for the MIGA, for the Ascent. So please, please, email me, get the link from me, call Rob or Sam, they'll send you the link, but get that training done before you date an application. Get that training done before you solicit any business. Let's make sure that we're not sending any business back to you because training hadn't been completed. Please, 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 if you take anything away besides the fact these products are awesome, take away the fact that training needs to be done. With that being said, I'm going to close down our poll. So thank you, everyone who participated in that. And before we sign off, Rob, I want to thank you so much. I know you're a busy man, especially with all these great products out there. We appreciate you and your team taking the hour to join us. Any parting words you'd like to share?
I just want to let everybody know, thanks for attending this webinar. ARMS is a great partner of ours. If you got an income play for one of your clients, look at the Ascent. I know we weren't first of mind when it came to income prior to Monday, but we should be now. Income, accumulation, and protection, that's our story going forward.
Fantastic. Thank you again, Rob, and everyone who took an hour out of your schedules. We do appreciate it more than I can convey in words. So thank you very much. Also, that golf shirt is hanging out there. So if you were on this presentation, get us 200,000 in the Ascent. We'll get you that Athene polo. I'll tell you what, I asked Rob to send me 2 because I really want one, but I don't think it's going to happen. But it was worth a shot. Anyway, everyone, go out, have a great sales day, and I look forward to speaking with you all soon. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Scott.